The transformation of the modern Indian woman is one of the most significant social changes in contemporary India. Education, economic independence, and professional success have opened unprecedented opportunities for women across the country. These achievements deserve recognition and respect. However, alongside these positive developments, many critics argue that a section of modern women has also undergone changes that have produced troubling social consequences. This perspective focuses not on women as a whole, but on behavioral trends that some observers believe are becoming increasingly visible in urban India. One of the strongest criticisms concerns the misuse of laws enacted to protect women. Legal provisions against dowry harassment, domestic violence, and cruelty were introduced to safeguard genuine victims. These laws have undoubtedly saved many lives and continue to serve an essential purpose. However, critics argue that some legally aware and financially independent women have allegedly begun using these provisions as tools in marital disputes. Instead of serving only as protection against abuse, they are sometimes accused of being used to pressure husbands and their families during divorce or property disputes. In such cases, complaints may include elderly parents, sisters, and distant relatives who have little or no involvement in the dispute. Even if they are eventually cleared, they often endure public humiliation, legal expenses, emotional trauma, and damaged reputations. Such cases, critics argue, can weaken public confidence in laws that are intended to protect genuine victims. Traditional Indian families emphasized compromise, shared responsibilities, and mutual support across generations. While these systems had shortcomings, they also provided emotional security and practical assistance. Critics argue that some modern women increasingly prioritize personal freedom over collective family responsibilities. Career ambitions, financial independence, and personal space are sometimes viewed as taking precedence over maintaining family harmony. This shift has contributed, according to critics, to increasing marital conflicts, rising divorce rates in urban areas, and weakening relationships between generations. Elderly parents may find themselves living alone or separated from their children, while children may spend more time with caregivers or digital devices than with their parents. A further criticism is that some women have confused modernization with consumerism. Rather than embracing education, civic responsibility, and intellectual growth, critics argue that modernity is sometimes measured through luxury brands, expensive lifestyles, social media popularity, and outward appearance. Social media has intensified this trend by rewarding glamorous lifestyles and material success. Expensive vacations, designer clothing, and carefully curated online identities often become symbols of achievement, while qualities such as humility, simplicity, patience, and community service receive far less attention. According to critics, this shift encourages vanity, excessive comparison, and a culture where external validation becomes more important than personal character. Some commentators also argue that, in the pursuit of equality, a section of modern women has adopted behaviors that were once criticized in men. Increased alcohol consumption, smoking, substance use, and reckless nightlife are viewed by critics as examples of this trend. While supporters describe these choices as expressions of personal freedom, critics argue that genuine empowerment should not involve copying unhealthy habits. Equality, they contend, should mean equal opportunities and equal rights, not equal participation in behaviors that harm physical and mental health. Another concern is the rise of extreme individualism. critics argue that some modern women increasingly place personal goals above family obligations and community relationships. Traditional values such as compromise, sacrifice, and respect for elders are, according to this viewpoint, sometimes dismissed as outdated. Relationships may become more transactional, with personal convenience taking priority over long-term commitment and shared responsibility. This emphasis on individual success can contribute to emotional isolation, weaker family bonds, and reduced community support during difficult times. Ironically, critics argue that many of these changes have not resulted in greater happiness. Instead, many women face enormous pressure to excel in every aspect of life. Professional success, financial independence, social media expectations, physical appearance, family responsibilities, and parenting all create competing demands. The desire to succeed simultaneously in every role often produces chronic stress, burnout, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Constant comparison through social media further intensifies dissatisfaction. Despite career achievements and financial security, some women report feeling isolated, overwhelmed, and emotionally disconnected. The progress of Indian women in education, employment, and leadership remains one of the country's greatest achievements. However, critics argue that modernization has also encouraged certain negative trends among a section of women, including the alleged misuse of legal protections, weakening family relationships, excessive consumerism, unhealthy lifestyle choices, and growing individualism. Recognizing these concerns does not diminish the importance of women's empowerment. Rather, it highlights the need for modernization to be accompanied by responsibility, ethical conduct, respect for family relationships, and concern for the well-being of society as a whole. Genuine empowerment should strengthen both individuals and communities, ensuring that progress is measured not only by personal success but also by integrity, compassion, and social responsibility.